Hello, I've just been watching a video that I shot about 6 years ago and I thoroughly enjoyed it. You may have seen this video, you may not. If you haven't seen it, you're going to see it now. If you have seen it, you may want to watch it again. We're at that time of year now where we're thinking about planting potatoes. This was a little experiment that I tried all those years ago. Enjoy the video. Hello. Have you got your earlies in yet? Won't be long now. These are some of mine. This is a variety called Home Guard. As you can see, they're just about ready to go, but it's still a bit cool yet, so we'll hold them back a little bit longer. But as you can see, they're ready to go. Have you been looking at the videos on YouTube, seeing what everybody's up to? Checking the other gardeners out? I have, and I'll tell you what I've saw a lot of lately, and the reason for this video today. I've watched a lot of videos where people cut potatoes in half, in quarters, just leaving a chit on each piece of potato and growing on that piece of potato and telling us how good it is. And now from one potato you can grow 5 potatoes, providing you cut it into 5 pieces and each piece has a chit on. But I've got to tell you, in all these videos that I've watched, I've never actually seen anyone plant any of those pieces, and I've never actually seen anyone harvest from those pieces. Anyone dig a potato up that's been grown from a piece of potato. All the videos seem to end with a table full of pieces of potato chopped up, and that's it. We're sort of left in limbo. Does it work? Doesn't it work? Now I'm going to ask you a question now, and it's a loaded question, but I'll tell you from my experiences first. I've been around allotments a long time and I've gardened a long time, and I've never met anyone, and I don't know anyone, that cuts up their seed potatoes into pieces and grow them on. I've just never seen it done, and I don't know anybody that does it, and I've asked other gardeners and they don't know anybody that does it. Now that's not to say it doesn't work, that's just to say I've never seen anyone do it. So I'm not convinced that it will work, and I'm not convinced of the value of it. You know, although it gives you more potato plants, does it give you more potatoes? Just as many potatoes? Fewer potatoes? Bigger potatoes? I've never seen an end result from those people who say that this is the way it can be done. So, and here's the loaded question. Do you know anyone that sows pieces of potatoes? Have you ever done it? Have you ever seen anyone dig a potato up that was grown from a piece of potato? It wouldn't surprise me if the answer to all those questions was no. So let's do something about it. Let's run an experiment, shall we? Now, I picked these potatoes because there's one here nestling quite nicely with 2 chits on it. Okay, there's some smaller ones, but I'll rub those out, and I'm going to attempt to cut this potato in half. Okay, if I can cut this potato in half and leave a nice chit on each half, then what we'll do is we'll leave those 2 halves for a few days, just so that the wound dries out, and then we'll plant these two up, and we'll plant another home guard up, and then when we do a reveal, we'll do a 3-pot shootout. We'll empty the 2 pots out that have the pieces of potato in, growing on, and then we'll empty the pot out that has the whole potato growing in, and we'll weigh the potatoes, count the potatoes, do a comparison, and then we'll know, won't we? Then we'll know. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So let me move this out the way and let me keep this one back. We'll take those, we'll just rub these few smaller chits off because we only want those 2 viable chits. And as I've already said, we're going to set this aside for a few days to allow it, that's providing I can do this, to allow it to dry nicely. Okay, we'll let those 2 halves dry. Okay, then we'll plant those, and we'll also plant seed potato as well in another pot, and then we'll do that 3-pot shootout. You're going to see all that on this video. Now you may ask, well, why are you only doing one? Well, you know, it's not that, it won't be that representative of a trial. Well, you're right, it won't be that representative, but it will be a trial. You will see the end result, and the only reason I'm not doing a lot is because I'm in a small garden. I'm really strapped for space. You know, I don't really want to do this because I haven't a great deal of confidence in it. But after the trial, I may have more confidence in it. You may have more confidence in it when you see the results, and the results you will see because I'm going to grow these on. And as you know, early potatoes take about 15 or 16 weeks, depending on the weather, maybe something less, maybe something more. But you will see the results, and then you can decide whether you think this is worth doing or not. In fact, you may want to have a go at it now. When you see this video, you may want to have a shot at this and let us know, you know, feed that information back into the sort of gardening community. It's quite dry to the touch now. There's a skin forming over the wound, over where the potato was cut in half. Corners are starting to turn in nicely. Okay. Chits are still chits, they're still there. So it's time to plant these up. And I'm going to plant them up in a pot. And I'm doing it indoors because it's like winter outside today. We had a lovely spring day yesterday, but today's like a winter's day outside, so we'll do it indoors. Okay. So these are the pots I'm going to be using. These are 3-inch pots. And I'm just about hear you saying it. Growing potatoes in 3-inch pots. I've already got a little compost in this pot, just in the bottom. I'll just place the half a potato in there and drizzle this compost in so that I don't damage the chit. Okay. That potato's nestled nicely in there. In fact, you may just see the chit. I'm going to cover that over now, so that's the last you'll see of it until it breaks surface. That's it then. That's the test on the way. So we're growing 2 half potatoes and we're growing a full potato. Home guard, seed potato. This little 3-inch pot has got 1 full seed potato growing in it. I'll bring these closer to the camera in a minute. As you can see, that chit's broke the surface. I cut a seed potato in half, home guard, straight down the middle, one chit on each. That chit's showing through and that chit's showing through now. I'll just bring these a bit closer. How's that? We're going to take these outdoors now and sew them up into their final growing positions. These potatoes are going in 10-inch pots. We'll grow them on. It is an early potato home guard, so it's only going to take, depending on the weather, I don't know, 15 to 20 weeks, something like that. I really don't know. And then we'll do a 3-pot shootout. We've got our 10-inch pots. We've already got some compost in the bottom of them, a couple of inches. We're going to try and transplant these potatoes, this potato and these 2 pieces of potato into these pots. Molly, can you come round here please? Thank you. Right, so this is the potato that we're going to try and get out. This could be a disaster, perhaps not. We won't know till we try. How's that? How's that? That's the potato growing on in that 3-inch pot. We'll pop this in here now, hopefully without breaking it. As you can see, there are more chits coming up, look. That chit's the one that's broke surface. This is a chit that will break surface. Okay, we'll stand that in the middle of there. We'll just move that to one side for the time being. And now we'll do the pieces of potato. Okay, this was half a potato with just the 1 chit on it. Not as many roots, but you wouldn't expect that, would you? It's only half a potato with 1 chit. But yeah, roots are forming, so it's got away. So we'll try and stand this one in. So far so good. Yeah, that's standing in nicely. Just pop that one there and we'll try this one. Let's see if we can get 3 out of 3. That's not for you, Molly. Oi. Just keep off. Now this one's showing a few roots, not as many as the other one, but it has got roots. Excuse me, miss. We'll just sit that one in the bottom. Okay. Now we'll go and get some compost. This is the bloodfish and bone I'm using. It's in pellet form. I'm just going to put a slack handful in this batter, mix it up with the compost, and then fill these pots. Right, that's as much as we're putting in there for the time being. So we'll sand these potatoes to one side now, carry this experiment on, and let's see what we get. This potato was put in this pot 17 weeks ago. The potato is home guard. At the same time I put in the home guard potato in a pot, I cut a home guard potato in half, removed all the chits except one, and with one viable chit I planted those half potatoes, one in each pot. I think you can probably see that there's only one top growth in each pot. That's the result of removing chits. Okay. And I do believe I promised a 3-pot shootout. So that's what we're going to have now. We'll have a 3-pot shootout. We'll empty all 3 pots. We'll empty the pot that has the 1 potato growing in it, and these 2 pots with half potatoes growing in them. And we'll weigh them, and we'll see if we can come to any sort of conclusion. One thing to bear in mind when you're looking at this and when you're drawing conclusions is that 1 potato in 1 pot takes up that amount of space and that amount of compost. when you cut it in half, you have two pots that take up twice the amount of space and need twice the amount of compost. So that's something that should be taken into consideration when you do your deliberations. I'll let you draw your own conclusions on this one. So you've missed the first reveal. Batteries let me down, but got some new batteries in now, so you'll see the next couple of reveals. That's what we got, and that's the pot that came out of. Okay, and that's from half a potato. Let's do the second half of potato. There's the half a potato. Okay, so we'll put these together. And that's what we got. Two 10-inch pots, half a potato in each, just one chit on each. And that's what we've got. We're going to weigh those in shortly. But let's do a reveal on the single potato in the pot. Okay, so this is a whole potato, home guard, 17 weeks, versus two half potatoes, home guard, 17 weeks. 3-pot showdown. What do you reckon? Wanna place your bets? Will it be this or will it be this? What do you think? Looks a good all that to me, to be honest. I'll be surprised if this pot beats it. Right. Now these potatoes will pop into here, I think, and try and keep them separate. Yeah, I think there may be a few more in this pot, but I don't think it'll beat the two pots. And they're a smaller potato, but they are an early potato. They're supposed to be small, not supposed to be big. Up. Those two might tip the balance. A minute. Need to have a good ratch now. That's it, we're not going to get any more. I'll just level this off. I'll just pop these potatoes out for you, let you get a look at them. Okay. This is what we got off one potato in a pot. That's what we got off two potatoes in a pot. These are much bigger and I have a feeling they're going to be heavier. But anyway, I'll go indoors, bring the scales out and we'll do a weigh-in like we promised. I've been indoors and I've washed these guys. These are the potatoes from the two half potatoes. So I'm going to weigh these first. So it took 2 pots of compost to produce these. It took up 2 spaces on the patio, but it only took 1 sweet potato cut in half. So put that into your final analysis, please. That's have a look at that. I need to come round your side. Just over £2. Yep, just over £2. So we'll call that a pound a pot, shall we? Sounds about right. Pound a pot. Okay, I'll take those off the scales. I'm going to take the others indoors and wash those now and bring those out. These are the potatoes that were grown from one whole potato in one pot, one 10-inch pot. What have we got? I can't see. I need to come round your side again. Well, that looks like £1.5 to me. So from one whole potato we got £1.5 of potatoes returned. From 2 half potatoes we got £1 each returned. Now, as I've said earlier, I'd rather you drew a conclusion to this experiment than me. Basically, I was just wanting to see an end result where potatoes that had been cut were planted, to see that they could actually produce a crop. And those 2 half potatoes certainly produced a crop, produced £1 each. But this whole potato has produced £1.5. So that's it. That's the end of the experiment. This is Homegrown Veg, signing out.